Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, athlete, sports-related event, or sports-related news. And there is sports-related news abound. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the NFL draft, mainly because I have not dove in too far into the ins and outs of the draft. I don't follow college football that much, but there is another story that is dominating the news, and that is the situation, or specifically in the NFL, that is the situation that's going on with former reporter for The Athletic, Dianna Russini, and New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. Now, here's where I'm kind of struggling with this whole thing with between the two is that Dianna Russini, let's start at the beginning. So timeline of the events of this is that Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel, they're in two different industries. They're both in the football landscape, but she's in the media, he's a coach. They were caught together at a hotel where pictures were taken of the two of them holding hands in a hot tub together, just kind of being around together. Both of them initially denied the photos and saying that this was a hit piece, that these are taken out of context, they don't really do much to show that, hey, there were six other people here at this event. So the Athletic defended her, and the Patriots were like, whatever, no big deal. Eventually, the Athletic was like, oh, wait a second, I think we gotta take a step back, and we're gonna start our investigation into this. And to which Dianna Russini promptly resigned and said that she's not going to give any more oxygen to this. Her statement is available on many other platforms. And Mike Vrabel, a couple days or like a couple weeks before the NFL draft, said that he had to have a lot of difficult conversations with people. Didn't really say what those difficult conversations were with people. He just said he had to have difficult conversations. He was going to hold himself accountable a little bit better, and he's going to try to do better. And then he said that he's not going to go to day 3 of the NFL draft because he didn't want it to be a distraction, and he was going to, quote, seek counseling, whatever that means. In addition to that, publications have come out and showed that that Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel's relationship has been potentially going on longer because they have photos of them together in 2020 at a bar, and they're kissing, they're really close to one another. Wedding ring on, especially on Mike Vrabel's hands, prominently displayed. So this situation is now just a giant mess. And in addition to that, Dianna Russini has pretty much had to go into hiding. She's had to delete most of her social media, and Mike Vrabel continues to get to be the coach of the New England Patriots. And something about that does not sit right with me. So there's going to be a lot of talk about the comparison between three other prominent individuals. Ime Udoka, when he was the coach of the Boston Celtics, had an inappropriate, intimate relationship with a female staffer, and then word came out that the woman later accused Udoka of, of making unwanted comments towards her. So, and the Celtics suspended him for the entire 2002-2003 season for violating team policies. They eventually just cut ties with him, and they eventually ended up letting him go. He found a place with the Houston Rockets. He is now probably getting ready to be swept by the Los Angeles Lakers. At time of recording, I don't know if the Lakers have beaten the Rockets yet, or if the Rockets are going to live to see another day, but we'll see. But there's that. There's the situation with Mel Tucker, Michigan head coach for a little while, or Michigan State, I'm sorry, head football coach, where he was accused of sexual harassment and subsequently fired for that. And then there's the situation with Sharon Moore. He was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. After the investigation, they immediately fired him, or after the results of the investigation were made, he was also subsequently arrested for assault as well. It's going to be pointed out that the three things that all of these have in common is that all three of these coaches are black, and Mike Vrabel is white. He's part of a organization that is going to protect him at all costs, because we see that Robert Kraft tried to get the story killed, and that apparently didn't work. So there's that. And Mike Vrabel is going to continue to get to coach the New England Patriots as of now, and he's going to seek counseling for having an inappropriate relationship, not with a staff member or with somebody within their organization, which is what Ime Udoka and Sharon Moore were accused of, but a member of the media instead. There is also something to be said about Dianna Russini, who she is unfortunately getting dragged through the mud through with this story where, and some of it is warranted. I will give them that, is that journalistic integrity should state that you should not, engage in an inappropriate relationship that crosses the line where objectivity becomes an issue, and also just where are you getting your information from. So there's that. However, I do think, unfortunately, that she is bearing the brunt of this whole story almost unfairly. And this just reeks of privilege, right? Where you have Mike Vrabel, who is a white man, part of a football coach, or he's a football coach for the New England Patriots. And it seems like just because he's saying some of the right things and just trying to tap dance around the fact that he had an inappropriate relationship while he was married with this reporter. And he's just seems like he's going to get away with it because he, quote, goes into counseling. If I were a player or any staff member, I don't know how I can trust Mike Vrabel again, because he has what he has done is that he denied this whole situation. He tried to cover it up. And then all of a sudden, he is trying to take accountability for this without actually saying anything that has actually transpired here. So he's trying to, do the noble thing, quote unquote, where admit that, like, things happen. I talk to my team. I'm trying to put in the work for it, but damage has been done. And I think it's also a travesty that the NFL just isn't going to investigate this. Yes, I understand that this is a personal matter, but also it's a conduct situation as well, where a member of the coaching staff is outed to be pretty much a source for an individual that could potentially influence stories coming out in regards to, trades, in regards to stories, and you pretty much get scooped. And I don't understand how that isn't something that is at minimum being investigated as a integrity issue for the game of football. I'm a little flummoxed at everybody just dragging Dianna Russini through the mud and pretty much tarnishing her for this affair. And granted, it does not look great when you name your son Michael when you were having an affair with, allegedly at least, having an affair with somebody who is also named Mike. That doesn't look good. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't look good. But I just think that Mike Vrabel is going to get away with this scot clean, and this isn't going to follow him around the way that it's going to follow around Dianna Russini. And that's not okay. That doesn't sit well with me. And I feel like there should be a monicum of accountability where even internally, the Patriots at minimum should suspend him for a little while just to get his head right, but also just to show him that like this was a major distraction. It was self-inflicted, and you were doing something that you should not have been doing. So, but that's never going to happen because the Patriots are one of those organizations that they say they care about character and integrity, and they show us time and time again that they really don't. So, those are my thoughts on this whole scandal with Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sportsball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcasts. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you've got any marketing, logo, or brain standard needs, contact them at HiFlyerCreative.com. Check out the other news on our network. Or check out the other shows on our network. We've got a lot of great content. Really proud of the work that everyone's doing. So please check out the other shows and support the SPDM crew. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.